Dreams are powerful. They give you hope, direction, and something to look forward to. But here is the truth many people avoid. A dream without a timeline is just a wish. It feels good to imagine a better life, to picture success, to think about what could be. But if you never decide when you are going to act, that dream stays in your mind, untouched by reality. This is why a dream written down with a date becomes a goal. The moment you give your dream a deadline, everything changes. It stops being something you hope will happen someday, and it becomes something you are responsible for making happen within a specific time. That small shift creates urgency. It gives your mind a target. It turns imagination into intention. Many people avoid setting dates because it feels risky. When there is no deadline, there is no pressure. You can always say, "I will do it later." But later is a dangerous place. Later often becomes never. And while you are waiting for the perfect moment, time keeps moving. Days pass, months pass, years pass, and the dream that once felt exciting slowly fades because it was never given structure. Writing your dream down is the first step. It takes the idea out of your head and places it in front of you. It becomes visible, it becomes real. But adding a date is what activates it. It tells your mind this is not just an idea, this is a commitment. And once there is a commitment, your behavior begins to change. You start thinking differently. You start planning. You start asking yourself, what do I need to do today to move closer to this goal? Without a date, there is no urgency. Without urgency, there is no consistent action. And without action, there is no progress. A goal is not achieved by thinking about it occasionally. It is achieved by working toward it consistently. A deadline helps you create that consistency because it reminds you that time matters. It also helps you measure your progress. When you have a clear timeline, you can break your goal into smaller steps. You can track what you have done and what still needs to be done. This clarity reduces confusion. It removes the feeling of being lost. You are no longer just dreaming, you are executing. Of course, setting a date does not guarantee everything will go perfectly. There will be challenges. There will be delays. There may be moments when you feel like you are falling behind. But even in those moments, having a timeline keeps you focused. It keeps you moving. And if needed, you can adjust the plan, but you still stay committed to the goal. The purpose of a date is not to create pressure that breaks you. It is to create direction that guides you. It is important to choose realistic dates, not dates that are too far away where you lose urgency, and not dates that are so close that they create unnecessary stress. Find a balance. Give yourself enough time to grow, but not so much time that you become comfortable delaying. A well-chosen deadline pushes you just enough to stay disciplined. Another powerful effect of writing your dream with a date is that it strengthens your belief. When you see your goal written clearly, with a timeline attached, it feels more possible. It feels more organized. It feels like something you can actually achieve. And belief is important because it fuels action. The more you believe in your goal, the more effort you are willing to put into it. It is also important to revisit your goal regularly. Do not write it down once and forget about it. Look at it often. Let it remind you of what you are working toward. Let it guide your daily decisions. When you stay connected to your goal, you are less likely to get distracted by things that do not matter. You become more intentional with your time and energy. Think about where you want to be in the next few months or years. Think about the dreams that keep coming back to your mind. Those dreams are there for a reason, but they will not become reality on their own. They need structure. They need commitment. They need a timeline. So take that dream and write it down. Be specific. Be clear. And most importantly, give it a date. Turn someday into a specific day. Turn I wish into I will. Because the moment you do that, you step out of the world of imagination and into the world of action. And that is where real change happens. A dream written down with a date is no longer just a dream. It becomes a goal. And a goal, when followed with consistent action, becomes your reality. Thank you.